Welcome back, warrior. We're reading Joshua chapter 6, and Jericho is taken and destroyed. Only Rahab and her household are saved. Ooh, this is going to be a good chapter. Okay, now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and ye go around about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up, every man straight before him. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests, and said unto them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said unto the people, Pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Lord. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the people, that the 7 priests, bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns, passed on before the Lord, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. And the armed men went before the priests that blew with the trumpets, and the rearward came after the ark, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, Ye shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth, until the day I bid you shout. Then shall ye shout. So the ark of the Lord compassed the city, going about it once, and they came into the camp, and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord, and 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually, and blew with the trumpets. And the armed men went before them, but the rearward came after the ark of the Lord, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And the 2nd day they compassed the city once, and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time, when the priests blew the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, Shout, for the Lord hath given you the city. And the city shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein in the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. Okay. I guess sometimes poor Rahab, what if she had chosen to stop and now she's still considered the harlot, right? Like, I don't know. Sometimes our choices that we make follow us even if we don't want them to, right? So President Howard W. Hunter used this story to teach this lesson. Speaking of Jericho's walls, he said, I have stood in the ruins of that ancient wall and pondered its meaning. This experience has caused me to wonder if perhaps there is a type and a shadow in what happened in ancient Jericho and what is happening in the world around us. When Joshua led the children of Israel over the Jordan River, the first city they confronted was Jericho. Spies were sent out, and a council of war was held. Joshua's generals undoubtedly set forth arguments as to the kind of weapons, armaments, and tactics that would be needed if they were to breach the wall successfully and destroy the city. Traditionally, it would have meant a lengthy siege. In the meantime, the reputation of the Israelites had preceded them, for the gates of the walled Jericho were already closed. The biblical account reads, Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. Now none went out and none came in. None did. Okay, so then we're going to continue reading. In fact, the military planning was so far advanced that according to Joshua, about 40,000 prepared for war passed over before the Lord unto battle in the plains of Jericho, or to the plains of Jericho. But the Lord had a better way. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. Yes, Jehovah was a better plan. Jericho would fall, but in the Lord's way. Instead of being armed with swords and spears, they were armed with ram's horns. Instead of taking a battering ram, they were to take the sacred ark. They were led not by generals, but by priests. They wore not armor, but priestly garments. And in place of a battle cry, there was perhaps a Hosanna shout. Instead of setting them to a long, devastating military siege, the Lord promised that after only 7 days, the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up, every man straight before him. And the Apostle Paul commented on this rather unusual procedure, explains. The Apostle Paul, commenting on this rather unusual procedure, explains it all in one simple sentence. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down. That's true. Elder James E. Talmage concurred when he wrote, with full confidence in the instructions and promises of God, Joshua and his intrepid followers laid spiritual siege to Jericho, and the walls of that city of sin fell before the faith of the besiegers without the use of battering rams or other engines of war. President Kimball, in addressing the issue of walls, asked, why must men rely on physical fortification and armaments when the God of heaven yearns to bless them? One stroke of his omnipotent hand could make powerless all nations who oppose, and save a world even when in its death throes. Yet men shun God, and put their trust in weapons of war or in the arm of flesh. End quote. Okay. There's end quote and then another end quote. Because President Howard W. Hunter was quoting several people. Okay. President Howard W. Hunter, Walls of the Mind, Ensign, September 1990. Ooh, walls of the mind. And that is so true. We need to definitely crumble those walls that we have created in our mind from old patterns and old things that people have told us, so that we can trust God the way that these Israelites trusted him. Okay, so now we're on verse 17. And the city shall be accursed, even it, and all that are therein in the Lord. Only Rahab, the harlot, shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. Okay, so it looks like we're mentioning Rahab twice. Or no, that was the second time we need to read that, apparently. Okay, so, and ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest ye make yourselves accursed when you take off the accursed thing, and make the camp of Israel accursed, and double it, and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto the Lord. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted when the priest blew the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. But Joshua had said unto the two men that had spied out the country, Go into the harlot's house, and bring out thence the woman and all that she hath, as ye swear unto her. And the young men that were spies went in and brought out Rahab and her father. And the young men that were spies went in and brought out Rahab and her father and her mother and her brethren and all that she had, And they brought out all her kindred and left them without the camp of Israel. And they burned the city with fire and all that was therein. Only the silver and the gold and the vessels of brass and of iron they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord. And Joshua saved Rahab, the harlot, alive, and her father's household, and all that she had, and she dwelleth in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. And I would add that, like, it wasn't just that she hid them, but that she believed. She believed in the prophet. Like, she believed in the prophet, and she believed in the Lord, right? And so I feel like that also put her in a different category, right? Okay, verse 26. And Joshua adjured them at the time, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord that riseth up and buildeth this city Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof in his firstborn, and in his youngest son shall he set up the gates of it. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country. Okay. So no spoils with this battle. Often soldiers receive rewards for fighting through taking spoils from the city. But Joshua told them that here they were not to take any accursed thing, lest you make yourselves accursed. The Old Testament Seminary Teacher Manual explains the word accursed in these verses refers to all things associated with wickedness and disobedience. All the people, except for Rahab and her kindred, and all the objects in Jericho, were considered accursed. So the instruction is to leave the wicked things and to take any silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron and give them to the treasury. This will be a test of each soldier's faith, obedience, and greed. For if they come across treasures that no other may see, they could easily hide them away. And what do you think the spiritual message of this story is? Okay, and then we have Joshua, the read it, live it for Joshua, because we're all done. Joshua chapter 6. And it says, so they did 6 days. So, says live it, the command was unusual. Walk around the walls in silence once a day for 6 days. Faith isn't just about shouting in the 7th. It's about circling on the 6th day. Stay faithful on the days that feel quiet. Ooh, I really like that. Stay faithful on the days that feel quiet. Because, we're waiting on the Lord and it's like, okay, we're just doing this thing. But stay faithful on those days. Today, I feel like it's a quiet day, even though it's super busy. And so that's a good message for me. Okay. And what did you learn about faith and obedience from this story? What questions do you still have from the Battle of Jericho that we can take to the Lord? Right? Okay. Until Joshua chapter 7. Stay strong, warrior. Okay. So there's one more quote that I wanted to read. It says, so the Israelites went in and destroyed all that was in Jericho and burnt the city with fire. So this seems really severe, especially for like people that are people of the Lord, who are meant to be peaceful, right? Like we're supposed to be peacemakers. But the Canaanites were a very wicked people and had filled that consecrated land with great wickedness. If Satan had an understanding of the purpose of that land, he certainly would have put forth much effort to corrupt it and fill it with all manner of evil. I'm feeling some kind of story relating to me and things that I've gone through. Also surfacing here with this commentary. So the Israelites were to go in and destroy everything in the land. Even the animals must be destroyed. That Israel might not seem to be just slaughtering the Canaanites for the sake of plunder. Everything was ordered in such a way as to mark the vengeance of God. End quote. This was Ellicott's commentary for English readers of Joshua. Isn't that interesting, right? So if Satan knew the purpose, then he would have put forth much effort to corrupt it and fill it with all manner of evil. Makes so much sense. Okay, now that's it.